You've just been Gaia Forced. Hey guys, today we're talking about the story of Tentomon. Figure out where he's all been in the entire TV series as well as his background lore. Let's talk about more Tentomon. Now, the story of Tentomon is actually quite brief. He only has his main appearance as showing up at all in none other than Digimon Adventure, the original series. Now, he also showed up in Tri as well as in Adventure 2, but in truth, his main storyline was told in Adventure. But before we go into that, let's instead talk about his entire design. Well, we can look at it very carefully and we will notice several things about it. It is insectoid in nature. If you didn't know that, well, I'm sorry. Spoiler, he's an insect. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. Now, look at him, he's got antennas on top, he has two pincer-like hands, and two more sets of hands underneath that. He also is bipedal, he walks on two legs that are abnormal and compared to like the rest of them. If you're like a normal bead, all your kind of like hands and feet would all kind of match each other, but they don't. So he's basically grown up to only walk on bipedal like lengths using his little claws in the front to latch onto trees. Now his little extra pair of hands are used to pick up and hold objects. Now I don't remember in the anime itself, but I don't remember him ever actually using those secondary hands all too often. He did most of his pointing with his basically claws here and there. Now, he also has this dome shaped on the back. It is a hardened shell, but also can unfold and go into his wings. Now, he uses antennas, as I mentioned before, to do his Super Shocker attack, or Petite Shocker, or Petite Thunder, I'm sorry, to hurl static electricity and is amplified by his wings alone. I always thought, when I was watching the anime as a kid, that it came straight from the wings, because every time I saw him do the attack, he was always flying and then just doing that. But apparently it is all coming straight from the antennae. The more you know. Now, another lesser known thing you probably didn't realize is the entire time Tentomon is talking, either in the TV show or in the video games itself, he never once uses his mouth to speak. It's never moving. However, when he eats, it is actually opening up and allowing him to chew his food like a normal mandible for an insect. I didn't realize that until they said it, and I went, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. How is he projecting sound at all? I don't know, and I'm not going to question it. But now, you know. Now let's get right to the thick of it. This is going to be about Tentomon in the anime of Adventure. Now, going from here, we first meet Tentomon in his Motimon form, just meeting Izzy, who has just ran into Tai, and they basically start a mutual understanding with each other. They have no complications at all. He wasn't like with Tai and Koromon, where he almost punted Koromon like a soccer ball. No, they apparently came to a mutual understanding, and immediately were chased off by Kuwagamon, and then later fought Kuwagamon with the other Digidestined Digimon partners, and Digivolved into Tentomon at that point. Now, for a little while, he didn't do much of anything in the series besides provide tactical information and quick summaries of each Digimon they would later encounter in the entire series, which was very important. Basically, to describe to kids how he knew all this information, I have no idea at all, but he was a knowledge, well, just a huge knowledge of library, such of full information, such as like Kuwagamon stats, what he was angry about, and all the different things throughout the entire series of Adventure. This matches well with Izzy's own personal view of knowledge. He is a very knowledgeable child. Even at his young age, he knows how to work a computer, get on the internet, hack systems, and so much more. Now, the thing that is different about Izzy and Tentomon is that Tentomon is curious, but he's more open and friendly with people. He is also able to be cautious and keep his priorities straight in the moment notice. He doesn't get distracted by just little bits of knowledge like Izzy does throughout the entire series. While Izzy is overly curious and almost pays for it with all his memories and even losing the crest of knowledge itself, Tentomon is able to focus and get things done and be able to put even his thirst for knowledge aside for the rest of the team, as well as his own partner. This would first show up in none other the episode where he digivolves into his next form, Kabuterimon. Now, this would be against an Andromon that is giving the main protagonist a lot of issues, essentially. Greymon and Garurumon are both getting their butts kicked in this machine-like factory that doesn't have any real purpose besides assembling and disassembling machines. Now, Andromon is an ultimate level Digimon, and they had no real option to really overpower it at all. But when Tentomon digivolves into Kabuterimon, realizing that the knowledge that they had found isn't necessary and they have to save the rest of the team from this errant Digimon, they quickly combine their forces and digivolve into Kabuterimon and are able to do one of his big attacks and take out the black gear that was hidden inside of Andromon's leg, thus freeing Andromon and realizing that he's actually a good Digimon. Now, after this, he digivolves back into Tentomon and would stay that way throughout most of the series, digivolving up to Kabuterimon for a long bit, though getting quickly outrun and outpowered by the other groups, Digimon all digivolving to Ultimate, though it would be first Tai and then Matt who would basically steal the show from then on out. Now again, they would provide tactical support and the like, but they would quickly be overshadowed. It wouldn't be until his own special episode where Izzy is almost giving up all his knowledge for new knowledge, even though it is simple things such as tying your own shoe and having fun, because he's tricked entirely by none other than Vademon, who is basically kind of a jerk and an evil. He just wants to basically sell people's hearts so that he has more influence and power and can trade for other things. However, in the end, Izzy and Tentomon are able to see an agreement and realize what's happening, though Tentomon is the first one to figure this out because Izzy is kind of scatterbrained at this point, and they super digivolve into none other than Megu Kabuterimon, going right to his ultimate form, and uses Horror Blaster to quickly overpower Vademon, who is another ultimate level Digimon, but not meant to do a fight. He's more of just a big trickster more than anything else. From then on, he kind of only assists from the side, participating in the fights, but not being an overall major factor in the long-term fights against Myotismon, or even Venom Myotismon, or even the Dark Masters going on. He is a support character, constantly informing everybody, but not being able to take on the Big Four, and then later on with Apocalypsemon, sadly. It would not be until Digimon Season 2 that we see more of him. But even then, Tentomon isn't really a major factor. He is kind of just a small-time recurring character that pops in every once in a while, gives some information, and then leaves the scene. The more of the other characters steal the show, such as Agumon, being the main protagonist of the original crew, kind of leading the show from later on in the series, kind of ditching the rest of the group. The other ones would be Vemon and his entire new generation of Digimon, who also take up the show and give themselves more information rather than the original 7 Digidestin. Now, Tentomon would get more storyline in Digimon Tri. Tentomon is watched all his other friends get infected with this new virus that is spreading all Digimon and turning them all rapid. Even the lovable and cute Patamon is turned into a rapid monster that is biting TK most of the time, and it is a very sad moment. But Tentomon, showing his faith towards Izzy and his sense of knowledge, digivolves into Hercules Kabuterimon, and fights on and captures Mekumon, who's gone insane and is causing more and more infections. He even holds up and fights his own former friends and shoves them all back into a portal, keeping them there until the reboot is set up. Now, the last time we see him in the series is when he is doing the battle against Ordainemon and his final powers. They all DNA digivolve into one final form, Tentomon, Agumon, all the rest, into Omnimon Merciful Mode, and take down Ordainemon and revert her back into her original form of Salmon and Mekumon. Well, that is Tentomon right then and there. Sadly, there's not too much more about this Digimon, who is full of knowledge and kind of more need to be a star out there. He's quickly overshadowed by the rest of his crew, such as Patamon, who is an angel and takes over for the second series, Agumon, who is always stealing the show, and Gabumon as well. Biomon, Palmon, I'm sorry for that, but also got Gomamon as well. They're all kind of thrown off the side when the main characters even show up there. It would be even the same in Digivolve 2020, where he shows up again with another Izzy in another timeline entirely kind of playing the same character in the same role, but sadly not doing too much more. They do have their own focused episodes, more so than the original series, but Tentomon has not much change between the series and is still the lovable thirst of knowledge person, Digimon, and friend to all the Digestans, as well as Izzy himself. I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is Tentomon, and he is getting out of here. Have a good one, guys. Be safe, and may the Digidestin and you one day blossom. Have a good one, guys.